Welcome, everybody, to episode 22 of the latest. Crazy week it has been, Brad. Although we say that every week, you should probably just saying it, but stop saying it. But good stuff happening, right?
It's always an exciting world in this AI software boom era. It seems like there are 10 to 20 major software companies that are releasing four things a year that becomes 80 things a year that becomes two major things a week, which if you're into computer software like we are and business workflows, it's really exciting. You get to revamp the way you do things, find creative ways to express your business, reach your audience, even just casually creative people. There are so many ways that can open up doors for things you never thought possible. And let's look at some of those things today.
For sure. And I saw yesterday, Alan Smithson, who's doing incredible work. Everybody should check him and his wife Julie out, who's also a big part of it, and stuff she's doing with XR and just mixed reality and such at the forefront of that stuff. But that executive order for the US about all students using AI tools,
Yeah.
I did think was it was a great sign of moving in the right direction. I think early when Open AI came out and ChatGPT, right? We saw a lot of the schools making sure no one used it and getting worried that everybody's just going to create their reports and stuff using ChatGPT. But now it seems like they really want to empower the students with these tools.
I think that's the best thing you can do. The analogy I've been using for the last 2.5 years is that if you looked back to 1995 or six, before we really had email, internet, and cell phones, there were people who pushed back against email, internet, and cell phones. Yes, cell phones and email and internet existed before 1995 or 1996, but not meaningfully for the majority of people in North America and worldwide. Um, so anyone who pushed back against those now looks back and says, "Oh, why did I push back against the communication style of the world? The world now communicates through social media, through text message, through the internet, through email, and with their mobile devices." And having gone through that set of 25 years as an adult, I now see the parallel. This appears to be a direct parallel of this will be the new form of communication. This will be the new software style. It's automation of workflow. Okay, people say AI as if it's a robot that's going to do your thinking for you. These are language models that can automate your process and just make it quicker. This is just a quicker way to do things. There's more to it, but it's great to see any government or any body saying, let's get educated on this. You don't have to use it in your professional life, but let's at least get the next generation knowing it exists and knowing how to use it. I think it's brilliant.
So valuable, right? Because I think, when I graduated high school, I will reveal it, 1985, and then got into tech in 87, I felt just unprepared, right? I mean, I'd gone to JC for a little while, and that was early PC industry, right? I was using, mail programs like Pine, MCI Mail. Those were probably before your time, Brad.
Oh, I
You
use
know,
Pine. I
I
use
use
Pine.
Pine. Okay, nice.
Yep.
But now we can empower the kids to really do well and use these incredible tools just to superpower themselves. So when we're speaking this morning, I think well, and I think too, another thing I was thinking about after we spoke was having just, when Apple really gained traction on Microsoft with their computers. A lot of that was due to their education programs and getting MacBooks in schools, right? In colleges. And there was a guy there that had led that. Barry, Barry, not Barry White. I forgot his name. Anyway, old colleague of mine. But
Yep.
right, but incredible how they use that. And now as we're looking at this whole um war, I think, right? Of, getting eyeballs for the which LLM people are going to use. I kind of think that it's going to be a battle for this segment. And I just kept thinking with once COVID happened, and as they were getting many of the kids online at the schools to do their schooling, if they had to stay at home with based on where they were living, many of them were getting Chromebooks, and that could, be a way for Google to get in, Brad. And we haven't, I feel, been speaking about Google enough on these podcasts, right? Google Labs, Google Studios, certainly dug into Notebook and Gemini some, but totally
Mhm.
incredible things coming out of there.
We could start there if you want. I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't say there are new things in ChatGPT. It seems like ChatGPT has become that default, like the way search engines were Lycos and Asks or Search.com and Yahoo, and then Google just became the word as if there was nothing else, when that's not true. DuckDuckGo and Bing and many others. For search engines, for language models, my top five include ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, and now Grok. And maybe more. Maybe I'm just thinking about top five, but certainly those guys are up there. And they're equal for different things. ChatGPT recently has let you search all of your chats. So not just that you have the magnifying glass and you can search the chats, each chat seemingly knows all the context of all those other chats. So if you're like, what's my favorite chocolate bar? Or what's, that car I was looking at online the other day? It seems to be able to draw from that. Is it perfect? Probably not. The other new thing to mention quickly before we get to Google is that ChatGPT now has a library of images you created. So if you just want to look at an image you made in any of your chats, there's a library button. Have you seen that library button, David?
No, I haven't. Would you mind pulling it up? I'd love to see it.
I know someone showed me this. Maybe Harvey showed this to me. So if I share my screen, I'll share my screen and I'll go right into to Google here. Okay, you can see that browser window. You can see here it says library on the left-hand side. Library.
Hold on one sec. It's clicking in for me. Yep, I see. Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. And then it's all the images that I've made recently.
Great.
All the ridiculous things that we make with ChatGPT. The crazy dumb food logo, the ketchup bottle logo for the upcoming podcast, the ketchup, some action figures for a creative project. So it's book covers. It's, like this is pretty impressive. We might as well show it here that you like look at this logo. If anybody hasn't seen the capabilities of ChatGPT to write text, we got this. I mean, Brooks mentioned it that we should do a ketchup bottle, and this was maybe 10 iterations from like cartoon ketchup bottle to like YouTube logo and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. I got it written in ketchup. I made it write it in French fries, Wednesdays at 1, Wednesdays at 1 Eastern. A little bit of spelling errors, AI twice, but eventually I got it to put my name in there, catch up on AI with Brad Rochefort, AI the catch up. Super fun, right?
Love
Super
it.
fun stuff. But we're going to hop on over to Google. So Google Labs, labs.google, right? Have you seen many of these tools? Have you seen AI mode, data science agent, career dreamer, daily listen, or WISC?
No, I have not. I have not dug into this yet. I will admit it. Right.
So
First it's remembering to use AI for it, anything you're doing. Now it's like remembering to use the three great tools. So no,
yeah,
but I'm glad you're digging into this for us.
but look how many there are here, right? There's Project Mariner, there's Notebook, there's Jules, which I did not see Jules. An experimental AI code agent, right? There's video effects, there's Project Astra, there's images, Ask Photos, there's TextFX. I think that's this one where you can make your own custom font to be a lawnmower path or a star constellation or fireflies in a mason jar. It's just really cool stuff. The one thing I'll say is if you use WISC, which is this animation tool, which is super cool, you need to use not a business account. So the browser that we're looking at right now is a business account. But they've got Google Arts and Culture, like just really, really, really impressive stuff. This one I haven't seen in use, but say what you see, learn the art of image prompting with the help of Google AI. So if you're wondering, how do I prompt about images? How do I get the vision in my head or the creative expression that I want into words, into these tools? They have a tool called Say What You See. And we're going to learn the art of prompting, right? So this is a painting of a dog in a field, and they're telling you how simple that is to go painting dog field. Right? And so this is, a bowl of ramen, I guess, right? A bowl of ramen. And they're going to see how close we can get the one to the other.
Wow.
And now I thought that was a photo, but that's AI generated. So my bowl of ramen is there, and theirs is a soft focus close-up photograph. So they made sure to say photograph and then close-up style with an egg and spring onions. So we got a 78% match. There's such a neat set of tools here. Maybe we can get WISC going, because WISC is really cool. I can show you what it does. What it does is lets you do one of two things. The subject is the person or animal that you want in the picture. You can use text or upload an image, drag and drop or paste in or add from your desktop. You can say with words, a cowboy from a Western movie, or you could put a picture of a cowboy in or whatever. You can use the plus button and add a second or more person, right? If you don't want a second person, you click the X. And then for the scene, if it's a cowboy, we could say at a car wash, because cowboys don't have cars, they have horses. So it's funny. So you could say car wash, or you could put up a picture of a car wash. And then the style is it photo real? Is it animation? Is it from a decade or from a country? Is it an impressionist painting? Does it look like it's made of a certain material? We've seen all those things. I think if I stop share and reshare in a different browser, on a different account, I can show you ones I did. In fact, it's probably open over here. Perfect. Here we go. So I think I was showing people this the other day. So I go to labs.wisc and look up my library. This is an example I made. So check this out. I asked for an animated painting in an impressionist style of a man on a horse. And then I animated it with one click. So if I go to my videos, check this out. This is an 8-second video that I made in 15 seconds, maybe.
That's incredible.
Look at this. He eats the food. I think I just said it was a man with a horse in an impressionist painting. Like I just typed in those words. I just wanted a man with a horse in an impressionist painting. And then I said, make the horse eat the food. Like I didn't type in this big elaborate prompt for you to know styles and details. Dr. Harvey has been doing tremendous things. It looks like he paid like $50,000 for like a television commercial to be made for the stuff he's doing. These video tools no longer look like the junior level of anything. And again, I did this for like 15 seconds. If you spent time to work through it, you can get something really impressive. This one, I made the Voltron style animation, so it looks like that on purpose, and just said the man walks out of the building. Right? Wow. Look, the Aurora Borealis that I asked for is moving like a real Aurora Borealis, the lights of the Northern Lights. And this spaceman character walks out of the building, all right, on the left. And then on the right, I said, walk in and walk out and walk back in. So he walks out, pivots, and walks back in. Like that looks like a cartoon from 1985.
Right.
It's so impressive. And I did not spend a lot of time on these things, David. I really spent like a couple seconds. And if it shows, I'm hoping it shows here. I've got you get like 100 free credits, right? Wow. So each one took 1 credit. So you got you can make 100 of those for free. They're super fun. Now, David, if you go to labs.google, there's a couple things that you need an American internet address for. You need a US IP. If you go to labs.google, some of those things I showed, I won't be able to demo, but you can demo if you'd like.
Yeah. Let me get there. Give me 1 second.
I'll put the link in the chat for you.
Thank you.
There you go. Because these things are super fun. And I have to tell you, for most people, they've never heard of this stuff. And it is super impressive. If you put on your LinkedIn something no one has even seen, someone no one knows exists, all of a sudden it's eye-catching across your feed, across your social media. If you email clients, and like some of the guys in our community, they will take a very specific approach and make one about their client or about their meeting, put in a little audio. Yeah, it takes 10 or 15 minutes, but if you're dealing with clients who need to feel special, that you're like, I really value our exchange, I really value our relationship, these are amazing tools to personalize responses, to make people feel seen and heard. It's really, really cool. So Career Dreamer's one of the ones I couldn't get in Canada yet.
Okay, I'd like to see this. Let's see.
Because that's right up your alley as a guy in workforce innovation.
Totally.
This is the great thing, David, about the latest is it's so new that we're both brand new to it.
Right. When did this come out, by the way, Brad? Just this week? It must have been just this week, right? We haven't talked about it.
That's what I said at the top of the call. There's 20 major softwares. They release things almost every week. It's really tough to stay on top of these things.
Okay, share your previous. Here, actually, somebody I'm just coaching too. I'm going to do this for them.
Amazing.
One of my people just got a big job at Apple, so I'm excited for her. She'll announce it when she wants to say who it is, but that was great. I'll say engineering manager.
Okay. So you didn't have to type in anything else. Google suggested
No,
all
this is just
those.
right. This is just giving me a list of things to check. Okay, next. Top 5 tasks, team leadership, we'll say project management.
And then for the recording and for the report that you generate through this, I'll say specifically, these are tools that are free from Google Labs. So it's the laboratory from Google. Labs.google is the way to get there. Free tools. This one's called Career Dreamer.
Okay.
And it gave you a career identity statement. That's cool.
Interesting. All right. I'm not going to go too far down this hole because the person I have in mind, this is great though. I mean, I think, look, when it comes to what this will end up creating, and maybe it'll be a very effective resume and you know, how you apply to jobs and things like that. Again, I think we do have to deal with this overload of applications and stuff that companies get when they put up a job. And right, so I think it is, you know, the community first, like you have at Brain Juice, right? So many genius people
Yeah.
that can just connect with each other. What we have in WITI in different parts of the world. Yeah, and just, you know, I think just the tactics to build and just not transparent. Like when you're going over the video earlier, what's it going to be when there's just hundreds of those videos then people are going to have to step up to the next level to make it a little more unique, you know? All right, so Career Dreamer, I'll take some of my people through this and then we'll run through it and report back next week.
Yeah, the best thing is most people have never seen these tools. So when you show them, it's revolutionary for them. This saves hours. I specifically remember people who spent 4, 5, 8 hours going through this process, and it was excruciating to extract these words, to brainstorm all the different categories and the activities and the tasks. This is such a smooth process. And now look at this moving diagram that they've given you.
Right. And this is interesting, Brad, because it's also too like, you know, in labs.google.com, you know, right? It's like, oh, they should be working on the next blah, blah, blah. No, they're trying to use real world issues that people are having, simplify them, make them easy. And this will be a big part of what we see with AI now, just because we've been so deep in it. Many people haven't. And how do we get everybody up to speed, you know?
Hmm.
I mean, we talked about some of these kind of, and I forgot what I don't know what I want to call it yet, but like 0 to 5. You know, I would love some AI sessions just for people that don't want to come into the think tanks, even though they're welcome. They may feel too intimidated. How do we just get them from 0 to 5 so that they can understand a few tools to use? They can feel confident going into meetings and just leverage it for whatever they're doing, you know?
Well, David, this is what we're going to be doing on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock Eastern is the catch up. It's going to be a live to YouTube show just like this. And the catch up is going to be for anybody. I mean, honestly, if you're watching this, you're probably caught up. But if there's people in your life that need to catch up, we're going to give all of our viewers that space to comfortably be brand new to something. Like I'm brand new to speaking Arabic. I don't speak any Arabic. So other people have been speaking it their whole life, and I'd go in there and I'd feel intimidated. We're going to find a non-intimidating way that's respectful to professionals to say, like, let's just start as professionals with something brand new and
Right.
help you catch up. Because I talk to people regularly who just say, I haven't caught up or I've used it such a small amount because I'm so busy with my work that they don't know how to get into it. So this is your ladder to climb into this moving helicopter that is artificial intelligence software. And I'll make that
Totally.
distinction. I've heard from people recently. Sonny said this. He said, stop saying that you're an AI expert. He's like, those are people who know about like quantum computers and mainframes and databases. He's like, what we are is AI software. We're AI software, which is very true. I don't claim to know the ins and outs like Dan Wilson the other night. He was advising one of the Eastern nations, and it was like he could tell you on a technical level things that I just had to listen. I have no knowledge of these things until someone
Right.
tells me. But there's a parallel to people with AI software. There's people who are incredibly knowledgeable about the world and their business.
Yeah.
They just haven't dedicated what's now, David, for us, like 30 months. We've dedicated 30 months to learning AI software. When you look back and think, you've probably spent 600 days learning AI software.
Right. And I don't even think it's AI, for the person that's running their business that just wants to do more with less, they don't want to hear about AI, right?
No.
Or even that sounds too complex, I think, in many
Yeah.
cases.
Yeah.
We'll have
That's
to,
why we call this the latest, because it's just the latest. It's just what's the latest.
exactly, exactly. Just thought I'd reference Gamma because some of the new Gamma came out last week, right before last week's show. So just some things I've been playing with were good. We had this event yesterday. I think you might dropped in for a minute with Ray Leonard's son, Ray Leonard Jr. and Divya.
You know
Um,
what? I missed it. I was outside of my office and I was seeing my chat, and I thought, oh, I would have liked to have seen that
okay, I'll send you the recording.
because he's a
But
he's a world class athlete. He was one of the
yeah,
best boxers ever.
right. And this is his son who we used to always see on TV, and just a great, great person. She's doing some great things to help people get their voices out. What I love with this new Gamma, it's just so easy to pop in. It keeps your library all down here. So if I wanted to pop in a new image, sometimes when it puts a person in here and it's not that person, we should replace it. So maybe I'll just stick this image in instead. Pops it right in, or I could ask it to do new images. Um, this is good. Kind of did the same workflow that we talked about with like we do with the YouTube show every day, right? So just click on it.
So essentially, you just take the transcript that exists and make a presentation.
Right. But then with the graphics, you just click on it, the slide moves over, and then it's
Yeah.
easy to pop in a new graphic. So I am on my way up to the Silicon Valley in a few minutes. So I will bang this out if I have time. The deck for today. If not, look for it soon on our LinkedIn. But I think, Brad, what else this week? I mean, we've got think tanks happening. We've got Brain Juice has been growing. I love it. I invited a couple more people in for Monday.
Mhm.
reach out to us, right? We're going to have some new ways starting in a week or two to kind of get on our calendar if you want some one-on-one support.
Yeah.
If not, just jump in and we're going to get.
Speaking of calendar, I went to see if something's there, and it is. If anyone uses Claude, they now have connect apps right underneath the main search is connect apps, and if you click it, right now you can connect your Google Drive, so you can use your content, but you can also connect your Google Calendar. Because David, I know you like to have your chat weigh in on if you're getting your work done in a day or in a week or in a month. So now it can access your schedule to help with planning, prep work, and reminders. You can connect your Gmail to search and reference emails and relevant information. And then GitHub is for technical documents.
Right.
I
Amazing.
looked that up yesterday, literally, to see if GIT was an acronym. And it's not. It's just Linus Torvalds' humorous slang term for a British person in a funny context. It's a literally meaningless word that he just went, you old git. Which I thought was funny. In my mind, it was going to stand for graphical interface technology. And no, it's just nonsense, but in a fun way.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So Claude could connect your calendar, your email, a lot of great things. But absolutely, if on your calendar you want to talk to David, or if you want to talk to me, and you want to see how we connect and work together, do reach out. We're available. We're happy to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think with that, Brad, that is the latest. I know we've been trying to keep these shows to half hour ish, and we'll get there because I think tight information is what we want to give to everybody. And we'd love everybody's feedback. If there's things are missing, go ahead and put it in the thread. Subscribe to our channel. Shout out to Becky. She said she loves our show and she gets a notice on her phone because she's subscribed whenever we turn on and the video's on. So
Oh, fantastic. I have in mind to put a live Miro board up that if anybody during the show wants to talk about what we're doing, that might be an interesting way to interact with people, David. Like
I
a
love
view only or comment only Miro board where we can post links. Because it might be fun to show live. It might be really fun to show other people browsing around and posting questions. I think we have a very respectful audience. I think we'll get respectful comments, and I think right now that might be fun. Maybe we'll do that for next week. Maybe we'll put a link. We'll post the link live during the show. Sound good?
I love that. So I think people should learn how to use Miro and do those interactive sessions like you always do. So that'd be a great thread to go through.
Yeah. As always, there's so much more we could talk about. We respect your time and we enjoy having you as our audience. We can talk more next time about the latest from Google through Gemini. We could talk more about what people are doing with ChatGPT and OpenAI and Claude. I feel like we should do a deep dive on Grok because Grok continues to impress. Grok with a K from X. And same for Perplexity. There is so much more to cover, and I know in the coming months we're going to be offering people ways to get a deeper dive on these things through learning modules with some of our partners, including Brooks and Harvey. Stay tuned, everybody, because David and I think I'm in 5 or 6 AI groups a week, and I know you're in about the same number.
Definitely.
It's the kind of thing that professionals take 5 hours a week to stay on top of, but I very truly think you get that time back. The number of work outputs and reports more than balances the effort that it takes to get there. And we're very happy to change the speed of learning to suit the situation, whether it's you or the 200 of you in your organization. If you say, I get it, but I've got 200 people with different learning styles, what we're learning is people need that ladder in. They need a way to climb into that information. And we're very happy to make it respectful and professional and patient. That's all I've got for today. I'm just so excited for what's coming up, David.
Absolutely. Have a great week, everybody. And we'll see you next week for more of the latest.